Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Black Girl Speak Up podcast. I am your host Jasmine, and per usual, I have an amazing guest, and I'm so excited because listen, he had to fly in.
That's right.
He had to fly in,
exclusive.
And that's exclusive. I feel very honored to have him in the studio today with me to record this podcast. I have not only my really close friend, but I also have the co-writer of the Black Girl Speak Up podcast, Darius.
Hello.
Hi.
Hola.
Friend.
Hey, friend.
How you doing?
I'm awake.
Listen, there's that, because I could use a nap right now.
Hello.
You know?
Good morning.
Good morning, afternoon, all those things.
No, but I'm good. I feel ready. I feel, energized to get into the discussions of the things.
Yay!
Yes.
So excited. Well, tell the people a little bit about you. Just a little dibble dabble.
My name is Darius Amore. I'm originally from Orlando, Florida. I'm not proud of it. It's just a fact.
It's just a fact.
And I'm an artist, and I also write. And
very well.
Yeah, it's become more and more of a passion as time goes on. Definitely love to tell stories. Definitely love to curate and really help things have a flow through literature. And I'm excited to be here. I've also known Jasmine since high school, back when she was just a little chickpea.
A little chickpea is crazy.
Just a little snickerdoodle.
Oh, which, listen, we're not even going to say how long ago that was.
That was a very long time ago.
It was. And I love that people don't really know my age unless you know me.
Yes.
People assume it's 10 years younger. I will take it.
You do look good.
I will take it.
I'm not going to, well, I will reveal your age if I said
yes.
how long it's been. But let's just say there were several presidents between now.
Oh, wow. Several
presidents.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay.
You know what? We're going to move on past how many and how long it's been. Because,
Yeah.
Yeah. On today's episode, listen, we're diving into some things. And every episode I try to make it where it's such one, it's helping people mentally, but also just bringing light to certain situations or just having a genuine conversation, because I feel like, especially with today's topic, it's out there. People know about it and they hear about it. People experience it. But at the same time, it's also kind of seen as like a taboo word.
Yes.
So,
I mean, if you've ever been in a heated argument back and forth with somebody, and let's say you've used some of this language before, they've been like, "Oh, you're trying to use therapy speak."
Yeah.
Or they shut it down because like this is word salad.
Yes, it don't mean anything.
But I always say words mean things, and just because a word or a phrase is new for a thing doesn't mean that thing that you're experiencing is new.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Very
so
relatable.
Today we're gonna dive into gaslighting. Listen, baby, hey, I have stories, okay?
We all do.
But the term, it originates in 1938 in a British play called Gaslight by Patrick Hamilton. Gaslight and its adaptations portray a seemingly genteel husband using lies and manipulation to isolate his wife and persuade her that she is mentally ill so that he can steal from her. Crazy. One of the husband's tricks is to secretly dim and brighten the indoor gaslighting.
Yeah.
Insisting that his wife is imagining it.
Yeah, I actually watched the film just like for a little bit.
Yes.
And so like she thought she was experiencing something, and she would go to him and say, "No, that gaslight was way brighter." And he was like, "No, you're just imagining it." And gaslighting ultimately is another way of saying manipulation.
It is.
So he was manipulating her to, one, gain her trust. Like, oh, I'm not experiencing what I think I'm experiencing. What I am experiencing more so is what you're guiding me to experience.
Exactly.
And it was making her lose her mind.
It will, over time, if done, and I hate to say it properly, but if done to a certain extent, it will make somebody lose their mind and lose sense of their own reality. And baby, been there. Y'all listen, y'all know this is not a podcast that specifically talks about relationships. because that's not, I feel like there's so many podcasts that dive into that topic.
Mm-hmm.
However, this is something that deals with interpersonal relationships.
100%.
And very much like how somebody wants you to experience them and experience your world when it comes to them.
Yeah.
So, listen.
I feel like also when it comes to gaslighting, the people who do the gaslighting know who to do it to.
Yes.
Especially like when I think about that story about the woman, not to place blame on her, but had she had more of a strong foundation, had she maybe, I don't know, been to therapy or had a stronger sense of self, somebody gaslighting her, she would have been like, I know that light was brighter.
Yes.
And I'm leaving.
I'm done.
And you're crazy.
You're making me feel like I'm crazy.
You're making me feel like I'm crazy. Yeah.
So
I feel like the people who do the gaslighting, the people who do the manipulation, they really know who to target.
To do it to, yes. It literally says that gaslighting is not just lying, but attacking a person's confidence and convincing them that they are very mistaken. This word, when I finally put it into words, when I understood what gaslighting meant, because when I experienced it, I really did not understand that's what it was. But hindsight 2020, 40-40, 80-100. Like when I really understood what was going on, I'm like,
yeah, and it's not just manipulation. Gaslighting is like it's sexy manipulation.
It is. It's very like. It digs to a certain level in a person that you're trying to get in their head so much so that they forget and mistake what they're doing and who they're around.
It's like there's manipulation, and manipulation is leaving out truths. It is making sure that when you tell a story that you are curving it a certain way, you're leading in a certain way so people see you in a certain way. But gaslighting is one of those things where I am actively teaching you not to trust your own instincts. When something doesn't feel right in your gut, I'm telling you, don't trust that. Trust me. And that will mess you up in ways that are like if I go outside and I know that the sky is blue and I'm also with somebody who says I love you and I'm always looking out for you, but the sky is green, the two of those things happening at the same time is really going to mess with your mind. Because if you say you care about me, you say you love me,
why would you lie to me
about this? So I'm gonna gaslighting tells us that I should believe that the sky is green.
And or even when you convince yourself, you gaslight yourself into something. It makes me
some people call that being delusional. So it's all about how you look at it. But go
perspective,
ahead. It's all about perspective.
Because I can be delusional or gaslight myself into this relationship that I know I need to be a part of. But
hello, and good morning.
Have you ever felt gaslit?
I absolutely did. Have and I would say I do. Have, did, do
all the
things. And my favorite thing about me is that I'm so much better at calling it out now. And that really makes people uncomfortable because I saw what you just did. And please don't do that again, because we both know what the truth is. Don't tell me I'm not experiencing something, or don't lead me to believe something didn't happen when I know it happened. And I know that you did it on purpose for me to experience it. Sometimes but to answer your question specifically, yes, I have experienced gaslighting. Not to tie everything to relationships, but I was in a relationship where that person pretty much was involved with somebody else. And, you can call it cheating, you can call it whatever, stepping out, whatever you want to call it, but they were involved with someone else. And the signs were there. And I knew, because my experience with them changed. How they interacted with me changed. And when you know somebody and you love somebody, you notice those changes. And so when I called those things out, that person told me, no, that's not what it is. And I'm like, that's literally textbook what it is. But because at the time I was so inexperienced in relationships, I told myself, there's no way that this person is just blatantly lying to me, because they love me. They said that they love me. And people that love you don't hurt you on purpose.
They do.
And but they do.
But they do.
And so getting my mind out of that mindset, like, oh wow, this is there's gaslighteration in this dancery. Like, truly. It's happening. It's happening to me.
And oh my gosh.
What about you?
Baby, I got stories. Yeah, yes, I have. And oh my gosh, to put it lightly and mildly, I just finally woke up one day and was like, this is unacceptable. Or even like after, and this is when you have a child with somebody and you realize that their personality shifts after you have the child. Prime example of so many stories. I was like, which one do I tell?
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, when my daughter was born, and she was starting to eating solids and things like that, and I wanted to feed her a certain way because I learned, you can feed them solids. It's called this. There's a whole program, Solid Starts, or like baby-led weaning. Like, it's all these things, right? New-ish, but also it just makes sense, especially for her. So trying to feed her a certain way, and he did not agree with that. And then it's like trying to make it seem like I'm purposely, intentionally not letting him feed her. I'm not letting, and it's like, that's not the case. I'm just saying, let's do it this way, because when I do it this way, she eats the food, all of it. When you do it that way, blending it up, making it like baby food, she does not like it.
Yeah.
But, you just don't want me. You don't want me to have.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that kind of gaslighting, that type of manipulation, it reinforces their point, but it is not based in truth.
It's not based in truth.
So that's what makes it gaslighting.
Yes.
Because it's like, okay, maybe that's how you feel. Maybe you feel invalidated in this experience to feed your own child.
Correct.
That's fair. That's a fair thing to say.
A fair thing.
Hey, I really want to be a part of this, and I feel like, this is making me feel bad that I can't be a part of this. Fair thing to say. What is gaslighting, what is not fair to say is, you don't want me to do this.
Yes.
You're doing, you're a threat to me in this moment. It's like,
in my fatherhood, because I want to be, and I'm like,
right.
Hey, I made the vegetables. You can feed her. Just feed her like that. That's not me taking away your ability to be and participate in this interaction.
Yeah.
But if you do it that way, she'll eat. You can feed her all day.
Yeah.
But what is a problem is if you take the vegetables that I cooked and then blend up the food and then get mad.
Yeah.
And then you make it seem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we listen. Did you know at the time that you were being gaslit in that experience?
No clue.
When did you like wake up to that?
It clicked into me when I ruminate and obsess and overthink everything anyway. But when I woke up in the morning and I still had that feeling of that did not sit right with me.
Correct.
When I woke up the next day, and here's the thing, it's not that was just the wrong thing in general. It was the wrong thing for me. It was the wrong thing, and it didn't sit well with me. That's the important part of it. That's how you know. I say sometimes that God's grace comes in the form of our senses. And those are the things that protect us. When you feel this thing in you that says, I don't like the way that made me feel, and I know it's wrong. And then you talk to somebody about it, and they say, no, that's not what happened. You're like, it happened to me. And so that's why it's valid.
And that's my experience.
Yeah, that's my experience. You're not going to gaslight me into believing that what I experienced, what was done to me, and how I responded to it was not real, because it was.
Facts.
So, yeah, that is how I recognized that I was being gaslit. Because one, the things that I accused this person of doing, they were doing. Like,
right.
All the signs were there. The sky was indeed blue, and all of that stuff was validated, later. But
it's like in the moment. It's like
in the moment.
Why? Wish you even what sucks is you call it out for what it is, and that is when you start to second guess your own gut, your own intuition. That's what is like. This is infuriating.
Yeah.
Because I know what I know.
Yeah. Well, see, and then that's when you come from underneath the grace. That's when you come from underneath the protection. Is when you start to second guess what protects you. When what protects me is my senses to say this doesn't feel safe, this isn't right. And then once you second guess yourself, you come from underneath that, and now you're in their world now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're in the landmine field of whatever they want to give you at that moment.
Have you ever been the person doing the gaslighting?
This is a gotcha interview, and
no,
this is an attack.
Gotcha. No, it's not.
I'm being attacked.
I will say my answer first.
Okay.
I would say I have gaslit myself.
Okay.
Because of somebody else's behavior. Even though that when you start to second guess that intuition and that gut feeling, now I'm telling myself, oh no, it's okay. It's fine. Like, no, that's not really happening. Like, girl, you're
it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. Like, it's okay. Like, he wasn't doing that. Blah, blah, blah. They're telling me one thing, even though I know what I know, I gaslight myself because even though I'm an overthinker, again, like I said, I know what I know. I have the gut intuition. I have discernment, but I will get to a point because this person is over here. They're gaslighting me and telling me it's not that. So you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl. It's fine.
Yeah. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. So I don't believe that I've ever been the person to like really twist and try to manipulate somebody else into feeling a certain way and like coming into my world. I'm gonna try to tell you what's what. Yeah. What's fact.
Yeah.
First and foremost. So I don't feel like I've ever, but have I manipulated myself? Baby girl. I will gaslight myself into believing something.
What I will say is that I can't think of any specific situations right now because of course I can't. Now that it's time to be accountable, I'm like, me?
Of course not.
No, that doesn't sound like me. No. But I know that I have the power and authority to shift situations and narratives, especially based on me being a detail-oriented person, especially with me having a great memory, especially with me being somebody who's well-read. I know that I could.
But would that be gaslighting, though?
It could be. It could. You can weaponize your knowledge and understanding. Yes, you can weaponize it. Well, you know what I mean? Like,
I guess I have.
Especially if you're dealing with somebody who, you know, they're not gonna catch it right away. So you can you can hit them with the quickness, make them feel a certain way, gaslight them into a feeling, giving you more time to think through your point of view. You have the ability, especially if you've experienced it from someone else. At some point, you've studied. Oh, I know how to. If you know how to get into my head, I know how to get into yours.
Well, sir, you just
ate you up.
Ate me right on up.
So yes, I have. But what I will say, what keeps me accountable is I felt terrible afterwards.
Yeah,
I definitely felt guilt. And what I can say from experience, the people who be gaslighting, they do not feel no guilt about it.
Listen,
they're like, I know I just messed with your mind and it's nothing but ramen noodles up there now, but I'm going to go out and have a good time. Good luck with working through that.
Yeah. That is so...
versus me, I'm trying to come in and fix it.
Yes. Yeah. I think that is the big difference because if I do that, it's not that again, I don't think I really have, but when you broke it down like that, you ate me up. So I'm going to say that I've never done it intentionally to cause harm.
Yes.
I've over-explained because I'm an overthinker. I try to over-explain. So maybe I am twisting it, or because I've thought about this so much.
Yeah.
I've thought about it so much in so many different scenarios. I literally will think through all the possible outcomes of a situation. Yeah. Which is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm trying to do better. Yeah. I'm trying to do better.
But it's the same thing, like when I've caught myself wanting to use my powers for evil, what I said to myself is, why are you doing this? And then the answer 9 times out of 10 was, oh, you're scared. You're scared to tell the truth. You're scared to be vulnerable. Yeah. And so then that gives me the opportunity to say, hey, just so you know, I'm scared right now, but I have something to tell you. Yeah. Or just so you know, I'm really nervous to to divulge this information. But the manipulation says withhold the information. Gaslighting says change up some details in the story so that it makes them feel better.
Yes.
Manipulation and lying, it says don't reveal the thing for exactly what it is.
Yes.
So that you can have some semblance of control
and power over the situation.
Exactly. And
power. It's power dynamic.
1000%.
I don't. Let me tell you, I do not like it.
Yeah.
I do not like it.
Yeah.
What steps have you taken to make sure that you don't fall a victim to being manipulated or gaslit in the future?
Like I said earlier, calling stuff out, and my weakness is calling it out with love. That's not my strength.
It's hard to call it out immediately, and then do it with grace and love and softness when you know they bought some foolishness.
Yeah.
So I want to stop you. I'm gonna stop you before you even. But it's like it's like call out versus a call in. Yeah. As they say.
Yes. Yes.
I wanna
listen.
Come.
I ain't called in a minute.
Listen.
I called out about 5 minutes ago.
But a call in. Let's have a moment. That is.
Yeah. I call it out. I also just remind people, especially loved ones, that I do love them, I do care about them, and I care about how I make them feel. And so, if I catch them trying to gaslight me, manipulate me, I'm like, hey, you don't have to do that with me. This is a safe place. Even if the information you're about to tell me is something I don't like, and my feelings are upset, do not try to change what I feel. Don't try to influence what I feel with a lie, or don't try to pacify me. Give it to me straight, and then let me work through those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you've called out and you get that pushback because people feel like, like it's too harsh. How do you manage that part of it? Because that in itself is where there can be the love, there can be the softness that you're able to switch the narrative, but people feel
attacked.
The harshness, and they feel attacked by it. By a call out, and even though it's like, I'm just telling you about yourself.
Yeah,
I really am.
I just try to remind people that I love them and I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
A lot of stuff with that is abandonment. People get really scared that if they don't lie, manipulate, gaslight their way through tough situations, then the people that they're gaslighting, lying to, manipulating will leave. And they will if you keep doing it.
And they wake up one day.
Yeah, but the goal is to say you don't actually have to do that, because I understand that you're human, you're raggedy, but you're human, and I'm raggedy too, and I'm human,
and I'm trying to fix it,
and I'm just trying to be better.
I'm trying to be better.
But you're not going to convince me that you're trying to do better if you keep doing the same thing.
Correct.
And what that's going to do, that's going to send a message to me that I'm trying to create this safe space, but you're just not a safe person. So,
and people don't understand how when you have somebody that is supposed to love you and they no longer feel safe to you, how that changes a lot of things in that relationship.
Well, for sure.
Because I don't feel safe with you.
Yeah.
With my mind, because that right there is huge. If I don't forget my body, because I know I've been in situations where the person, the gaslighter, was very much like speeding uncomfortably, and I'm like, hey, it's like, oh, this is not a problem. Like, I'm good. No, but I'm not. So that's my body not feeling.
Is that a real situation?
That's a real situation.
Yeah, that is a good not only analogy, but also a crazy scenario to live in real life. But what an analogy. Like, you're obviously speeding and I don't feel safe.
Right.
And when I call it out and you tell me it's going to be fine, we both know that there are several scenarios where this is not fine.
It's not fine.
You know what I mean? And so, and you have me right next to you. The
with a child in the back.
And again, metaphorically, how I would know that you are safe to be around and to trust to be around, not only with my physical person but with my mind, is for it to click to you to say, oh, this is someone I love and care about, and I do need to be delicate with this thing. I should slow down. That reinforces that you are a safe person.
Correct.
But the idea
completely negate that,
to completely ignore it.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Now I believe that you're not safe.
Yeah.
Because you didn't even listen to that.
You didn't.
You ate me up with that one.
Listen.
That was good.
Listen, because I lived it.
Lived
it. And when I tell you, I woke up and I was like, baby, physical body, not safe. My mind, because you're trying to make me go crazy.
Yeah.
Not safe.
And let me drive it one more step forward. About that is, we were in the car when it happened, right? Mm-hmm. But what happens when we're just at home? And now I'm triggered all over again and waiting for you to try to gaslight me and trying to think of ways to combat it, trying to think of ways to really speak to your heart so that you understand what I'm trying to say. And also remind you don't have to do that you do love me. I could go on and on.
Yeah.
It's really dark side.
it's really a dark side. And so I want to like encourage people, when you have those type of experiences, and you have always take a step back, remove yourself physically from the situation so that you can have space to let me analyze this for real.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes when I always grief, all the things, proximity to a thing makes it difficult for you to process it, or difficult for you to handle it, or it just makes the thing hard. So remove yourself if you can, so you can be like, wait a minute, no, I really felt this. It really is negative. I really need this to be switched. I really need something to change, and acknowledge that and make a difference and make a change. Because calling out, like, yes, you can do that, but sometimes people are,
Yeah. You can't call something out for a person who has no self-awareness.
Correct.
Like, they're going to just continue to be confused as to why you're calling them out.
Correct.
They're going to be like, I mean, all I did was, XYZ. And it's like, well, I'm explaining to you that XYZ hurts me.
Yeah.
And what you're telling me is that it's something else, and that it shouldn't. And it's like, regardless of what you believe should or shouldn't work for me, my body, my gut is telling me that this isn't right.
Correct.
And so unless you validate that with some action, this doesn't feel safe. Yeah.
Baby, we need safe relationships. We need safe, and I'm not physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, all of that needs to be safe.
Yeah.
All of that needs to feel safe. And if somebody is gaslighting you so much so that you start questioning so much about your own existence.
And that stuff is transferable.
It is.
I told you about the situation with a past relationship where that's what I was experiencing. That experience for me did not stop after that relationship ended. I carried it into my life and was like, wow, what do I believe?
Right.
Who am I?
Right.
What do I feel?
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, I love this topic so much because I experienced it over and over and over in a relationship, and thankfully I'm no longer in that. But like you said, it can carry over. And you can continue to second guess yourself and doubt like your own, because somebody can damage that so much so and damage your own intuition and thought process that you don't think that you can really think clearly in any situation. So yeah, think about that. I want y'all to like take a minute and like really process. Have you ever been gaslit? How you handled it? What you are doing now to call out, call in.
Call out and call in.
Call out or call in, because baby, we might need to do both.
Yeah.
And how you're processing that now in your life and making sure that you don't get gaslit or that you are not the person doing it. Intentionally or not.
I know we gotta go, but I as I sit here and reflect on how I don't become that person that gaslights, I just know that life gives you opportunities to be the person that you think you are. Life gives you plenty of opportunities to show up in the ways that you would hope you would show up if you get into those scenarios. And I just want to remind people to respond with kindness, respond with love. Even when somebody could come to you and be like, the way that you looked at me the other day, it really hurt. And that is your opportunity to gaslight and be like, girl, I have no idea what you're talking about. I wasn't even looking at you.
Right.
Versus responding with love and be like, oh, you know, actually, I was just in another world at the time. I wasn't even
paying attention.
But if that's how you feel, I'm so sorry. Like, it's not my intentions to make you feel crazy or like you didn't experience what you experienced. I probably did have a crazy look on my face. Wasn't directed at you, and I'll make a conscious effort not to do that again.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I was so glad you were here. I really appreciate it. Listen, y'all can keep watching some more episodes because there's plenty for y'all to go back and watch. We got to get out of here. But until the next one, I hope y'all have a great day and great week, great month, all that. Peace.